Okay, hi everybody. It's so nice to see all your faces. This is so fun. I'm Lauren Smithson. I'm going to be talking tonight about IPA. I'm an Emerald Ambassador, and we have Erin McIntyre with us tonight too. She's Senior Ruby, and she will be talking to us about retention. These two topics are a huge deal, you guys. If you're not doing these consistently and you're not doing them maybe at all, then your business will not grow how you want it to grow. So that's why we wanted to talk about these things today. We've had a lot of people joining in the last couple of months with all these awesome sales, and we want to make sure that you guys feel supported and educated and ready to learn how to grow your business if that's something that you want to do, and how to keep people happy on their products. So that's why we chose these two topics today, and we hope that you learn tons from us and get some value from this. So whether or not you want this to just be something that helps you cover the cost of your products, or if you want this to be even larger and you want to be in Hawaii with us, or making a large income on the side, or if you want to stay home with your babies, whatever amount you want this to be, the nice thing is you can make it that amount. You can put whatever work you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. So really, this business model is very simple. It just takes certain steps that you have to do consistently every single day. I said it was simple, but it is not easy. So we're going to give you what those steps are, but it does take quite a bit of work. You have to put your work into it, and whatever you put into it is what you will get out. So what is IPA? IPA stands for Income Producing Activity, or Intentional Producing Activity. So what that means is that that's what you're doing every single day in order to grow your business. So if you want to do more of the slower pace, if you want to do something that just gets the bare minimum stuff done, there's the 3-2-1 option, which is a really great place to start. Or if you're kind of unsure about it, hesitant at first, this is a really good place to start. So that's 3 posts per day, 2 of those being personal posts and 1 of them being a Plexus post. And then that is 2 reach outs per day to new people, talking to new people about Plexus, and then 1 follow-up with a potential or with somebody that's already on your team. So we want to make sure that every single day we're at least doing that to make sure that we are growing our business in the right direction. For those of you that want a little bit faster of a pace, or are very serious, want to grow your business pretty quickly, there's the action stack option as well. There's a sheet in the Rock Your Purpose Files tab that kind of talks about every single piece of the action stack, and I printed a bunch of those today, so I'm going to grab them. They're sitting on the floor next to me. I'm going to grab one and explain what's on that sheet. So this is the IPA sheet. If you want, I can put this in the comments of this video when we're done, but it's for sure in the Files tab in Rock Your Purpose, so it's easy to find and print off. And I really do recommend printing and writing them down. I will be honest, I don't always do that because I just know what I'm doing with Action Stack every day and it just comes naturally now. But it's really important to record what you're doing. You can look back at these and see who you've reached out to. It's important also to post these in the Action Stack or in the IPA chats that we have, which I'll get to in a minute, because then your team will see what you're doing too. It keeps us accountable for the work that we're putting in, and it makes sure that the people that we have doing this alongside us knows that we are doing the work too, and we're not just, you know, hanging out every day while everybody else works. So we're putting in just as much work as everybody else is too. This is not just a relaxing thing, right? We're putting in our effort. So the action stack sheet really prioritizes in here. The first thing listed is doing some positive affirmations every day, having quiet time, making sure that we're taking care of ourselves too. Whether that means you're reading your Bible, or you are watching a video that means a lot to you, or I listen to a lot of mindset stuff in the morning to make sure that my mind is ready for whatever the day is going to bring. So things that are positive, I'm feeding myself positivity so that I can get through my day in a positive manner. Personal growth reading. So if you're part of this and you take this seriously and you do book club with us, we're always reading a book that helps grow us in some way. So reading for 10 minutes a day. Friending people on Facebook, wishing people happy birthday, building relationships with the people that you're Facebook friends with, contacting 2 new people, following up with one of your prospects, contacting 3 additional new people, reaching out to an active ambassador and an inactive ambassador. The posting is still on there, the same 3-2-1 posting that you've got, the 2 personal, 1 Plexus post, watching a training video, talking to people on your team and training them, or talking to your upline and being trained by them, and then looking in your back office. So it may sound like a lot, but you guys, really, you're probably closer to doing that than you think if you're doing the things to grow your business every day. So I would just really encourage you to look at that sheet and see what you're probably already doing that just you might not have noticed that you're already doing those things. This has been super helpful. I think I started doing this in the fall last year, and it's really helped me just stay accountable with making sure that I'm doing the stuff that I need to do every single day. So the IPA chats that we have them every single month. This is a way, like I said, to keep us accountable. So every day when we're done with our IPA, we comment in there the things that we've done for the day. So that's why it's important to have those sheets so you can have physical proof, like these are the things that I've accomplished. That makes yourself feel accomplished, and then that shows your team that you're doing the things that you said you would do as well. And it's just really important because it's important to remember that all of this starts with you. Your IPA, your business starts with you. So if you want to have a rock star on your team, if you want to grow a business and have it be really successful, you've got to be doing what it takes in order to get those things to grow. They always say that your team is doing probably about half of what you're doing. So if you're just scrolling Facebook and you're not doing the things on the action stack sheet every single day, then maybe your team is only doing half of that as well. If you're doing all the things and you're showing them the things that you're doing every single day, then they will want to step up and do the things that you're doing with them. Leaders build leaders by example. They're not just telling other people what they're doing or to do and not doing it along with them. We're all in there in the trenches with you, doing the same exact things that you are every day to grow our business. I make sure that I'm not only helping the people on my team, but I'm also doing my own IPA every single day. I'm reaching out to people. I'm following up with people. I have my own prospects. I have all of that same stuff, and then I help my team with all of their prospects as well. Does that make sense? So I'm not just managing people and helping them do that, but I'm making sure that I am doing my part to grow my business as well. Let me see if I'm missing anything. Yeah, making sure we're not just scrolling Facebook. We're not just posting on Facebook and then hoping somebody's going to reach out to us. This is so important, you guys, and I have fallen into this before where I'm like, oh, this post is so good, and then people don't really respond necessarily. There are people watching, but they don't always come to us and say, hey, oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. Now, yes, there have been times when people have come to me and said, oh my gosh, what you're doing looks amazing, I really want to join you. And that's super great, and we all love when that happens, right? When somebody's like, oh my gosh, I need to do what you're doing. But then there are a lot of times when people don't reach out to you. So we need to make sure that we are also reaching out to other people, because we can't tell if they're suffering in silence, and some people won't come to us. So just posting on Facebook and hoping that they'll reach out to you is not enough. If you don't reach out to them and they see somebody else's post, and that person reaches out to them, and they could have been with you on your team, that has happened to me multiple times because I didn't reach out to them, and that will happen. So you need to make sure that you're doing your part to also reach out to other people. Also wanted to make a side note too, that we're not just selling to our friends. We're not just sharing to get a sale from people. We're making sure that we are promoting ourselves and promoting our lifestyle, promoting our attitude, being just a really good presence on Facebook and on Instagram, and just putting out good vibes and good information for everybody to see. And then it's genuine when we're putting in our Plexus information as well, so that it's not like we are just trying to get something from somebody all the time. We want to be adding value so that we can show people that this is not just us getting something from them. We really want to do this with them, and we want to help them feel better. And we also are happy and healthy people too, because if we are not being happy and healthy in our social media presence, then people aren't going to want to join us. So we need to make sure that we're promoting just everything that we are, not just Plexus. We're not just throwing up Plexus all over the place. And I just think that that's a super important side note to make as well. So your posts that you make should not all be Plexus. It should be a nice combination of things that happen in your everyday life, and even try to have your Plexus posts be a combination of adding them into what you're already doing in your everyday life, if that makes sense. So that is a big tidbit on IPA, super, super important, you guys, and it is why Erin and I have been so successful in this past year, because we're consistent with this. We do this every single day. It might look different for everybody. Like for me right now, there's a certain amount of time that I put into doing my IPA and all of my business stuff. If you're just starting out, you might only need 15 to 30 minutes to do your IPA every day. And that's the nice thing. You can make it whatever you want to make it. So just make sure that you're intentional about that time. You can even set a timer and just say, okay, for this 15 minutes, I'm going to reach out to people. For this 15 minutes, I'm going to follow up with the people that I've already talked to. For this 15 minutes, I'm going to talk to the people that are already taking the products with me and making sure that they're liking their products. So it's really simple, you guys. If you want any extra tips, feel free to reach out to your sponsor and they can help you with all of these things too, because they're all doing them as well. And yeah, without further ado though, speaking of following up with the people that are taking the products, let's let Erin talk to you guys about how we make sure that people do love their products.
Yay, great job, Lauren. That was so awesome. So yeah, I agree with everything she said, and I will not go into any of that because she covered it all. So I am here to talk to you about retention. And guys, retention, if we do not have retention, we have nothing. It's just as important to add people to our team as it is to retain people on our team. So following up with people appropriately, especially in their first 2 weeks, especially in those first 30 days, and then, every month thereafter, whatever that person needs is so, so crucial. And the mindset of how your mindset before you follow up with somebody is also really, really crucial. So, I'm making sure that I can see everything here. So just give me a second. Have you ever dreaded following up with anybody? Like, raise your hand right now if you've ever dreaded following up with somebody. Or have you ever like popped into a chat and you're just like, hey, how's it going? And you're not really asking specific questions. I checked in with somebody today and I asked her specific questions, and all she could tell me was like, it's going okay. And I'm like, okay, so what's going okay? Are you drinking your water? What are you taking? Can you tell me what you're taking and when? Anyway, I think we've all been there where we kind of dread following up with people, but if we do it intentionally and if we come into it with the right mindset, it makes all the difference in the world. So very rarely will somebody join Plexus and just organically love their products and organically have everything go smoothly and perfectly for them and allow them to stay on the products. When they make a commitment to Plexus, we need to make a commitment to them to allow them to get the results that they want. So it's really, really important right away to know what their goals are. So if you're in a three-way chat with your sponsor and you're introducing somebody to your sponsor, tell your sponsor right away what that person's goals are. Normally I'll pop in otherwise and just ask what people's goals are, but that's really nice to know right away so we can kind of keep tabs on that. So we just need to be really determined to really help people succeed and have a purpose when we're following up with people. And I learned a lot about this from Brooke Hemingway. She had a call. She's a Diamond Sapphire ambassador, and she gave the best tips for retention, and I learned new things. So I've been doing Plexus for like 16 months, and I've been successful with it, but probably in the busiest times of my life or my busiest seasons, retention isn't as great because I'm not asking the appropriate questions to my people. So she has some really, really great examples here. One thing to do is when you add people to your team, ask them, what is your favorite way to communicate? Do they like Messenger better? Do they like text? Do they like Marco Polo? Apparently that's a thing. Do they like phone calls? Make sure to ask people what they like, because otherwise when you're following up with people and they're not responding to you and you're getting crickets, more than likely it's because you haven't asked them how they want you to follow up with them and what method of communication works best for them. So make sure you definitely know to ask about their goals, and make sure you tell them when they sign up. I know with enough consistency, tweaking, and time, you will get A, B, and C. Make sure people know that it's really, really important that they follow up with you so that they can get their results. So remember too, if you're dreading following up with somebody, it's probably because you're making it about yourself and not about them. We should not be fearful to follow up with people, because if we're really loving on our people, we shouldn't be thinking about ourselves at all or really feeling the fear, because we just want to love on them and get them the results that they want. So Brooke Hemingway, she has really, really great examples of how she follows up with people. And originally when I started Plexus, everybody just said, yeah, you know, like follow up on day 1, ask about their pink drink, follow up on day 3, and then just go 7 days out from there. Well, Brooke follows up with people every 3 days for their first 2 weeks on the product. She sets alarm on her phone. She uses Doe specifically, which is an app that people can use to track things with Plexus. I don't have the app. I use my planner. A lot of people, you can have a big calendar, write it on your calendar, but those 3-day check-ins are really, really important. So what does that look like? That looks like on the first day, when somebody tells you, I have my Plexus products in, you are reminding them of how to take their products. I cannot stress this enough. We normally send all the duplication info to people, but oftentimes people do not look at it. So they get their products, they look at the back of the pill box, they put themselves in a major detox because they forget about the chart. Also, if your person has like a history of RA, or they have a history of Crohn's, or they just have like major autoimmune issues, more than likely they might need to be on a more sensitive chart. So it's really, really important to know those things and to remind people right away when they start their products, oh, hey, I'm so happy that you're starting your products. Today's day 1. I can't wait to hear what you love about the pink drink. Here's the chart to follow to wean into things. And just remind them of that, because I've had 2 people recently who I sent all the information to. It was all there, and they both put themselves into a major detox because they didn't look at it. So for me personally, I'm going to be getting into those chats and sending a voicemail the day they get their products and just reminding them of the importance of weaning into things. That's super important. So you're probably wondering, how the heck does Brooke, like, what does she say every 3 days to these people? And I actually typed something out for you right now. I just printed it off in an email format, but I send it to Lauren. We're going to put it into like a PDF format, or I have it in the notes app on my phone for really easy copying and pasting. We can put it in the comments when we record the video and everything, but she's got some really great tips. So like day 1, of course, you're telling them, I'm so excited for you. I don't know if you know this, but a lot of people order Plexus, and when they get it, they're like, oh my gosh, what the heck did I just do? And they're freaking out, and they don't even want to start their products because they're afraid. They're afraid of detox. They're wondering if they made the right decision and this and that. So it's really important right away to express how excited you are for them and to bring everything back to their goals that you know about, because you asked them about their goals before they joined your team. So that's kind of, we talked a little bit about day 1. Day 3 would be saying something like, I'm so excited. You've been on these products for 3 days. You're just scratching the surface of healing. Fill me in. What are you loving about your products? Notice how I'm not saying like, hey, how's it going? Are you feeling uncomfortable? I'm really getting in there and I'm asking somebody, what are you loving about your products? Normally on day 3, they're oftentimes beginning the bio cleanse too. So just remind them to take it separately from the slim, and you know, give them those tips right away, because otherwise people do the weirdest things. So something on day 6 that Brooke says is, hey, hooray, you've been on the products now for 6 days. How are you doing with your routine? Are you drinking enough water? Are you getting into a good rhythm? What specifically are you taking and when? That last part is so key, because again, people are doing some really, really weird things, and we will not know what people are doing or if they're truly following the chart correctly unless we ask them, what are you taking and when? So we're on day 9. Hooray, you're on day 9. Hooray for 9 days of healing. Are you finding that it's easy to remember to take things? I find that setting alarms helps me a ton, especially when it comes to taking the bio cleanse. I keep ProBio 5 by my toothbrush at night so I can remember to take it before bed. I keep Slim by the coffee pot, and I set alarms for the bio cleanse. Tell people those little simple tools. The other thing that I tell people right away is get a little pill box, the SMTWTFS pill box, and pack your weekly pills in there, because otherwise people leave for the week, they go to work, and they forget to take their products. So just set them up for success right away so that they have everything with them and they know what to do. Day 12, are you still loving your products? I know with enough consistency, tweaking, and time, we will get you A, B, C. Consider sending somebody a testimony that reminds you of them. Really help to empower people and to lift them up. That's so important. Day 15, and again, maybe somebody's not going to say they're loving their products. That's okay. that's when you troubleshoot. So, okay, do we need to go down on the bio cleanse? Do we need to up the probio 5 or go down on the probio 5? Do you need to be on a more sensitive chart? That's why it's so important to check in. So assuming things are going great on day 15, what are you loving about your products? And then ask them specific questions. Tell me about your sleep, digestion, mood, cravings, energy. Are you still drinking half your body weight in ounces of water? Case in point, right before I popped on this call, I was helping a team member with somebody who was having some struggles. She was struggling with nausea, tummy issues, digestive issues. Now, if I was to look at that right away, I would be like, holy crap, she's going through a major detox. But what did I do? I scrolled up in the chat. That's what she struggles with at baseline. So don't always assume that just because somebody is having like nausea or digestive issues that it's detox. A lot of times we need to ask them, what's going on in your life right now? Are you really, really, really stressed at your job? Are you sleeping 7 to 8 hours a night? What are your eating habits like? What are your drinking habits like? How much coffee are you drinking? How much are you just drinking water? Or are you drinking something else? Because this specific person that we were talking to that was having some issues tonight, it's finals week. She's in college. She's stressed. I used to have so much diarrhea before every test, and before I got on this call, I had to go poop, okay? Like, ask people what is going on in their life, because that makes a difference. And I think oftentimes we are so quick to blame it on detox, and it's not detox. It's just life. It's just stress. Maybe it's allergy season. Maybe they were on antibiotics for a year. Maybe they just got off antibiotics. And just remind people of all the healing that their body still needs to do on these products. I know for myself, I had mastitis 4 times in a year. That means I was on antibiotics 4 times in a year. So I expected my sleep to be perfect. Excuse me? Really? I was on antibiotics 4 times in a year. My gut needed time to heal. So we just have to remind people of that too. Somebody else on my team, she had freedom from UTIs when she just joined Plexus. It was this wonderful, great thing, but recently she had a kidney infection and she was wondering, does Plexus still work? Again, I did some probing. Well, what else is going on in your life? It turns out she hasn't been sleeping. She's super stressed. And again, she was on antibiotics for years and years and years. So remember that oftentimes other things are likely going on. So let's say we're at day 21, things are going good. Check in, say, hey, is your routine still going spectacular? How have your sugar cravings been? You know, sometimes they can come back quite a bit at week 3. If this is happening, I may need to tweak your routine. Hey, how are your pooping habits? I am committed to show up for you so that you get A, B, and C. That's why it's important that I check in with you. So just kind of explaining that to people. Let's pretend everything's going well and we're at day 28 and tell them, hey, I'm so excited you're feeling awesome. And if things aren't going great, then continue to coach them on the best routine. Check in with them as often as they need it. I'm just checking to see how we're doing on time because we only have 4 minutes left. So I guess my main thing is to just slow down, listen to people, ask questions, truly get to know people too, and don't make it just about Plexus, because it's a lot more valuable to them when you ask them specific questions about their life and stresses and stuff that they're going through. And also just educate people from the beginning. Like, you need to give this a minimum of 90 days, and especially if they have RA or some other factor going on, they need to know, goodness gracious, you need to give this 6 months to a year. You need to fight for people and fight for the person that they want to become in 90 days. Think of yourself at 60 days. How would you have felt if you would have quit? At 60 days, I was like, I have a little more energy. You know, like I wasn't necessarily feeling all these great effects at 60 days. So we need to get in there, show up for our people, send them testimonies, remind them why they're doing this, and really advocate for their goals in the 90-day self or the year self that they want to be. And it's so important. And just find out how people want you to communicate with them. So, Lauren, did I miss anything?
No, that was so good. I just resonated with so much of it. And I think it's just such a testament to say, like, I mean, yeah, we've both been doing this over a year and we still need to hear this sometimes too. I mean, this was a great reminder for me. I hope it was a great reminder for all of you. And I hope you got a lot of value from that, because I know I did. I totally did. So if you guys have any additional questions, I feel like we totally, what's that, Erin?
One more thing, yeah. 3-way chats, utilize them. Let your sponsor help you create that community and create that friendship. Do not hide your team for other people. from other people. Your sponsor wants to help you. Those three-way chats are valuable. Don't just take it upon yourself. Just let your sponsor help. So
yes, it not only is it nice to just have that community, but it provides that third-party validation too. It doesn't mean that you don't know what you're doing. It just means that there are more people in your person's corner to help them get the results that they need. So definitely a huge tip there too. Okay, guys, if there's anything else you need, definitely check in with your sponsors. But I hope you got a lot from this tonight. Like I said, we both did for sure. And have a wonderful night. Bye.